Yeah, every 10,000 Ks, pull them out, repack them, have a look at them, clean them up, or like me, time for some new ones. Good morning from a very hazy Swan Valley in Western Australia. Today we're going to have a look at the bearings, wheel bearings on the Gator X. It's done about 10,000 kilometres, give or take, from what we can ascertain, and as per the Cruise Master documentation, it's time that you need to get them out, have a look and give them a repack. Something I can do, and I enjoy doing that sort of thing. I've got plenty of time, and I'd rather know how to do it in a really nice park rather than side of the road covered in dirt. Just adds another level of complexity and stress. So that's what we're going to do today, and I'm wondering whether or not my brakes are going to be cool. I think it's about 1.5, 2 mil on the brake shoes. If it gets to that, then it's a no-brainer, and I'll just throw them back together and go and buy some brake shoes, and gives me something else to do. Right, so I've got my Cruise Master bearings. I've been carting these around for a while. I think they're about $60 online. Take up about that much. The Magpies are giving us a bit of a sing-song. So with each set you get, let's get these up, they're all greased. So you get an inner and an outer race, and you get the seal. You get some split pins. And this. You get a brand new cap. New split pins, so you get the complete set to do the job. Okay, so we're going to change our own bearings on the JB Gator X. They've probably done about 10,000 kilometres, as best as we can reckon. So we're all set up here, so rather than pack it up and take it over to crosstown traffic and get someone else to do it, I'm just going to do it when I get a chance here. So we just got the fresh bearings. They come just with a protective film on them. So what we're doing now is we're repacking bearings. So keep these two matched. They're a matched set. So keep these together. There's plenty of great resources on YouTube, excuse my plastic bag, for how to grease bearings. So I'll put a link in. Probably the best one is from Justin from Trip in the Van. He's an ex-Air Force truckie, and he does a bang-up job at describing what goes on. His setup's a little different for me because he has disc brakes on his, and I have drums. Grab your fresh bearing. You've got to want to try and keep this all clean and tidy. Grab yourself about that much to start with. The little one gobbled up lots, so it's quite loose and rattly. We start with the largest diameter downwards. In the palm of your hand, I'm dropping grease and stuff everywhere, and you just push it in. And what you're aiming to do is work that grease up through that gap in through these roller bearings, and when it starts exuding from here, it'll come out like sketty. Then you know that you've packed it fully. Yeah, so this motion is what you'll want to do. So I'll see if I can get enough in one section just to show, but it's going to yum up lots of grease at the moment. You see, it's just starting to come through there. See if Liam can pick that up. See here, Liam? It started to come through the top. Yeah? Yep. Get good quality bearings, preferably for me, from Cruise Master. They do a whole kit. Okay, so that's the state of play. So obviously the hubcap has come off. Had it clean. This has come off. That's down. I've taken the split pin out from there, given it a clean. So now I'm ready to undo the bolts, get it up, make sure it's safe. We'll take this nut off, keep the spacer, then we'll start getting into the bearings. So I've removed the wheel, stabilised the van as best I can with the gear I've got. Nuts coming off reluctantly. Okay, remove the nut. Quick look at that. That looks okay. Okay, so that's the spacer. You need to keep that. Just give it a clean and check the condition. It's not too badly gouged. Just trying to keep it as clean, as tidy as possible. And we'll have a look and see. Okay, so a little bit of wear on that, but not overly concerned. Bearing sits in there, so when I release the brakes, that's the big heavy drum. Yeah, ATX suspension. Then we'll start disassembling it and see where we are. So, got the hub off, and I've removed the cones, the racers, whichever terminology you like, and I've taken the bearings out. I'm going to keep them. I'm going to have a look at them. They look fine. My brake on the rear is getting down. It's probably about 2 mil. Probably got a little bit more on the front. So they'll probably get you across town and maybe a weekend away. But if I had the brake shoes here, I'd change them because I've done all the work. So that's the front. It's probably got about 2-3 mil. There's slightly less on the rear, but that's a slight discoloration in there. But I'm not going to have a heart attack. The magnet also looks fine. There is some evidence of wearing and some scoring on it, but it looks fairly parallel. There's a little bit of scoring here from, I would imagine, where the magnet rips around on it. And of course it's a drum brake, so it's going to fill all full of dirt and grime, Gibb River Road, all that sort of thing. Everything else looks fine. And this face, to me, is it baby bum smooth? No sir. But anyway, she's going back together. You've got to be a bit pragmatic and going what I can or what I can't do. That's where we're at. So gonna have a coffee. Gonna blat the new bearings and racers in and start lubing up the hub of this shaft. Pack it all up. Make sure there's plenty of lube in there. And I'll start putting it all back together, and we'll hack the other side up later on today. Put your new bearing cones in. You can reuse the old bearing cones. Flip them over, better surface area for whacking with your hammer. I bought this kit. I've got plenty of room to carry a few things. That's the change in tone. Clunk, clunk. There you go. Sit it in nice and square. And that works. Beautiful. The reason I bought this kit, 1, it was cheap. 2, I've got room. And 3, for me, where it just makes it more difficult. If I was to slip with my punch and like gouge, one of my racers, I've got to stop, take the truck, go and get another one. This sort of like makes it a lot safer for me. The outer one done, so starting a smallie and see how I go, and yeah, get the next one smashed in, and then we're ready to start throwing it all back together. Greased up my shaft. So I've put it all back together and seated it as best I can. That's tight. So not knowing proper torques, I'm going to go, those bearings are seated. There's cross-mounted drilling, so there's one up and down and one across. So it's just a feely thing. So where are we at? That one's there, and that'll go through. But I think that's slightly loose. So I'm going to go to these ones, and I'm going to tighten that up. Now I get to there, that'll drop in. That's the bearings just done in a caravan park. It's not that difficult, and with a few basic tools, you can get it done yourself. And away you go, save yourself a few bucks. And or now you know that if this happens out on the track somewhere, or you've got to give someone else a hand, at least you've got a bit of an idea how things go. So I don't think that's a bad thing when you're out on the road, that you're self-sufficient as much as you can be. Anyway, I'll get on to the other side. If you like our videos, you could subscribe to them, hit the notification bell, and you'll find out where we're going to be when we start traveling again. Give us a like. We're open to questions and suggestions, so if you want to contact us on YouTube or on Leanne's Wander and Move Instagram page, we're always open for feedback. until next time we see you, take care.